Years from now, this past decade will be seen as the period during which the film industry underwent a great change. Whether or not these changes were for the greater good will probably take another 10 years to fully understand. Innovations that were once considered sure things turned out to be nothing more than momentary flirtations. 3D came and went, the theatrical model crumbled, but good filmmakers continued to create. The goal of lists such as this, as always, is to present a variety of movies, some of which you would have definitely seen, but hopefully some that you might discover. Some of these you've heard of, others you've ignored, but each of them is a strong reminder that regardless of what the industry does, good films will always be made. Number 10. Joker. Heavily inspired by the bleak philosophy of Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy, Todd Phillips' Joker is an unrelentingly distressing film about loneliness and unchecked mental illness. In a year that gave us Avengers Endgame and HBO's Watchmen, it's another reminder of how vital and diverse comic book storytelling can be. Number 9. The Perfection. Director Richard Shepard's The Perfection, available on Netflix, is a near-perfect masterpiece of modern exploitation cinema with a subversive feminist slant. It is precisely the sort of gem that gets lost in the interminable glut of mediocrity that dominates streaming these days. We will watch what we are told to watch, either by corporations or by algorithms. I am neither. Watch The Perfection. Number 8. Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame is a terrific example of that epic intimacy that Marvel does so well, alternating between glorious action and subtle character moments. Watching it almost feels like taking a wistful walk down memory lane, flanked on either side by a Russo brother. The Russos are probably operating at their most mature here, examining themes of parenthood and patriarchy, loss and legacy, and of power, how it switches forms as it moves between one hand to another. The only way to confront radical terrorism, the film says, and Thanos is a radical terrorist, make no mistake about that, is through unity and bravery. Number 7. Marriage Story. Director Noah Baumbach's new film, released on Netflix like his last, is utterly heartbreaking. Marriage Story is so authentic that watching it occasionally feels like eavesdropping on a couple in their most vulnerable moments. Alternately understated and ham-fisted, it is a love story about falling out of love. Number 6. The Two Popes. Not since Danny Boyle and Aaron Sorkin's Steve Jobs have the singular voices of a director and a writer united with such wisdom, wit and visual flair. Written and directed by Anthony McCartan and Fernando Meirelles, respectively, The Two Popes is a triumphant capper to Netflix's unofficial trilogy of award season contenders, following Scorsese's The Irishman and Baumbach's Marriage Story. It might just be the best of the lot. Number 5. Super Deluxe. It would perhaps be a little hyperbolic to compare director Thyagaraja Kumararaja's Super Deluxe to Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. But of all the Tarantino imitators that have arrived over the years, this is easily the most original. Super Deluxe is a blazingly ambitious achievement, made up of 4 tonally different segments that intersect and flirt with each other before they ultimately collide in a glorious conclusion. Number 4. Booksmart. Directed by razor-sharp wit by debutante Olivia Wilde, Booksmart is a seminal high school movie of this generation. The comparisons to Superbad are justified. The structure is oddly similar, as is the adorable relationship between the two leads. Not to mention, Beanie Feldstein is Jonah Hill's sister.
It is very important that you keep the safe. Oh! There's anything on! Don't touch your eyes!
But in the decade that has passed since Superbad, the high school experience remains strangely unchanged. Number 3. The Farewell. Director Lulu Wang's semi-autobiographical film is quietly stirring. Endearingly acted and breathtakingly shot, it's simmering with intensity. The Farewell is more than a tale about a woman caught between two worlds. It's a volatile mixture of American values and Asian attitudes. Number 2. Gully Boy. The finest mainstream Hindi film in many years, Gully Boy, like its mentor 8 Mile, is first and foremost about class, that great scourge of Indian society. Ranveer Singh's Murad could have been anyone. Rap music is merely a vessel for him to address his anxieties about the home he was born in and the lifetime of servitude he has been sentenced to. Number 1. Parasite. Ironically, the two finest films I saw this year deal with the same themes. That probably says something about me, but it also says something about the world we live in. But while Gully Boy chose to address its ideas about social division and poverty with typical Indian reservation, Parasite turned out to be just as tonally bonkers as any film the South Korean genius Bong Joon-ho has ever made. It is a masterpiece of social satire, wonderfully performed, stylishly shot, and when it needs to be, shockingly brutal.